Hello, little sausages. Can I ask you a question? Is Ulfric Stormcloak scary? No. Like, the answer is no. He's not. In game, anyway, not scary at all. And that's our problem. Because he should be, when you think about who he is, and what he's done, and what he can do, he should be, like, the scariest guy, probably in the entire country. Not just when you're gearing up to fight him at the end of the Battle of Windhelm, but, like, even just talking to the guy. You shouldn't just walk into the Palace of Kings in Windhelm and just walk. I know it's Skyrim, that's kind of how it works, but you shouldn't just walk up to the guy and go like, "Oh, hey man, how you doing?" And he does have a line that's like, "Only the foolish or the courageous approach a Jarl without summons." Good line, to be fair. I wish that was expanded though, because he's like horrifying. Even if you side with the Stormcloaks, Ulfric's a fucking monster. He's like the strongest, he's one of, if not the, strongest fighters in all of Skyrim. I mean, not only that, he's the most politically powerful man in Eastmarch. He's one of the most politically powerful people in the entire country. He's the leader of a violent rebellion. Depending on who you ask, he either murdered or killed the High King. He's a war veteran, and if that wasn't scary enough, he's one of 7 people, I think, that can use the voice. So there's the Greybeards, who are like politically inactive. There's Mirok, which most people don't know he exists, I imagine. So that leaves just Ulfric Stormcloak and the Dragonborn. And the Dragonborn can go sort of any way politically, so he's a bit of a wild card. So in terms of people that people need to be worried about, Ulfric Stormcloak is the guy to be worried about in terms of people that can use like the voice, which is no small thing. He can use like dragon magic from his mouth, and none of this comes through in game. Like almost none of it. You don't get anywhere near the sense that you should of just how dangerous this man is. Like they call him the Pretender, the killer of kings, the like traitor, da da da. But he's so scary. He should be so scary, and he's not. He's just like, do you know what he is? He's just grumpy Jarl Bolgruf. And he should be terrifying. And he's basically just like a high-level Draugr, mechanically. Like, he's tough to kill, he hits hard, and he knows unrelenting force. He's a high-level Draugr. And you could make him so scary as well. You could make him so scary. Like, all you'd have to do, mechanically, I think, all you'd have to do is just give him access to more shouts and increase his health and base damage. Yeah, he's only a human. He's not built like fucking Alduin or anything. But at least give him more shouts, if nothing else. Like, you mean to tell me he studied with the Greybeards and only learned, like, Fus, Ro, and Da? Obviously, it takes ages to learn these shouts, and he's not Dragonborn, but still, he knows as many shouts as, like, a Draugr Deathlord. Just a couple more. Ice Form, Fire Breath. Disarm. Draugrs know Disarm. Give him Disarm, why not? And also, like, given that the Stormcloak Rebellion isn't doing very well before the Dragonborn joins, Ulfric probably should be on the front lines, at least in major battles, like the battle for Whiterun. Galmar is there, but like, why isn't Ulfric at the battle for Whiterun? It's geared up as, it's hyped up as this really big, really, really important battle, which it is. It's a battle for control of like the center of the country, so it is really important. And I think if left, I know mechanics and law sort of differ, but if left to their own devices, the Stormcloaks don't win that. So where the fuck is Ulfric? Because even a low-level Dragonborn on the side of the Stormcloaks will win that battle, kind of almost single-handedly, to be fair. So Ulfric, like, it's an easy win. There's not a single, like, no one can stand up to him. Like, they get to Dragon's Reach, you think Bolgruf and Irileth are gonna kill, like, Galmar and Ulfric? Not a fucking chance. Absolutely not a chance. I'll tell you what, actually, if you're looking for a point of comparison, actually, I'm not a big Song of Ice and Fire lawbeard or anything, but the difference between Ulfric Stormcloak in-game and how scary he should be is a lot like the difference between the character Euron Greyjoy in the Game of Thrones show and, like, the Song of Ice and Fire books. Like, in the show, Euron Greyjoy is like a cheeky pirate goblin that makes penis jokes, and like, while he's obviously a skilled fighter, he's nothing compared to his book counterpart. Like, in the books, Euron Greyjoy is like a horrifying monster. People have like prophetic dreams about him sitting on a throne with dead gods skewered on the spikes of the throne, and his face is a mass of writhing tentacles. Like he's killed a king. He killed his brother, who is the king. His lips are stained blue from taking a bunch of hallucinogenics. He's got like a spooky eye patch where one of his eyes is apparently blood red. And like, he's willing to perform like human sacrifices and blood magic, and plans to summon krakens from the depths of the oceans to drown the continent in a sea of blood. Obviously, Ulfric isn't that bad, but there's still an ocean, get it, of difference between the two depictions. Ulfric has killed a king. He sends thousands of men to die for the sake of his own ambition, and he's the only active political player in the entire country that can use breath weapons like a motherfucking dragon. Being in the same room as Ulfric Stormcloak should be horrifying. He should be terrifying. Because he is, really. He's like the... Is there a single person in Skyrim scarier than Ulfric? Like, politically, he's the head of a violent rebellion. He's killed High King Torrik. He can use breath weapons. He's a war veteran. Like, is General Tullius scarier than Ulfric? Like, Jarl Elisif, Elenwyn. The Thalmor generally probably are a bit scarier than Ulfric, but that's the Thalmor. That's like all of them. You know, I don't think Uncarno is scarier than Ulfric Stormcloak. Fuck Uncarno. I don't think Elenwyn is a scarier individual than Ulfric Stormcloak. And they don't paint him as nearly as scary as he should be. Ulfric the Pretender wants to take the crown. Oh, he's ambitious. He's so scary. He's so scary. People that could you imagine, right? Put yourself in the hide boots of someone that lives in Skyrim. Put yourself in the fine clothes of someone important in Skyrim. Let's say you're Proventus Avenici, right? Pretend that you're bald, right? And you're Proventus Avenici, and you've been sent by Jarl Bolgrith to go and, as like an emissary or whatever, to go and treat with Ulfric over in Windhelm. And you step into the Palace of Kings, and you walk down that long-ass hall, and you have to go and speak to a man who... I mean, at risk of repeating myself, you have to go and speak to a man who's murdered, like, the High King of Skyrim. And even if you take all of that out of it, you have to go and speak to a man who, like, he can shout like a dragon. And what does Proventus know about this Nord nonsense? Very little in-game. So, like, for all you know, if you're Proventus, for all you know, like, he can breathe fire. Could you imagine you sitting in a room with someone who you know for a fact, or at least believe, can stand up and breathe fucking fire, and also everyone in the country thinks at least half the country, thinks he's an ambitious maniac. And you don't get any of that in Skyrim. Obviously you don't get that from Bolgrith either, or any of the Jarls, because you can walk up to them and be like, howdly doodly, and they're like, ah, yes, hello, stranger. Do you want to be friends? Clear out this cave full of wolves. So, yeah, I know, it's Skyrim, Jank, I know. But it's just missed opportunity. Much like the battle for Windhelm, it is just missed opportunity. He's just he's not a goofy goober, but you get my point. He's just grumpy Bolgrith. And he should be. I think maybe only Mirak, if we're talking human beings. I think only Mirak is scarier. Obviously, like, Arngeir, Bori, and the other Greybeards are scarier because they are stronger, at least in the way of the voice. But politically neutral, do you know what I mean? Only, like, Mirak and Harkon are scarier than Ulfric. And I just wish he was spookier. Not spookier like drinks blood or anything. But I wish we got any sense of the fact that he's just a huge fucking megalomaniac, like, insane, ambitious warlord. If only. And we'd have at least a little bit of that, I think, if he just had more shouts. If he was clearly more mechanically dangerous. Because he's a bit of a pushover as well at the Battle of Windhelm. I was filming for the Battle of Windhelm Sucks video that came out recently, and I stood there, because the Battle of Windhelm takes about 3 minutes, I stood there letting Tullius and Rickard fight Galmar and Ulfric. And there's a lot to be said for, Skyrim mechanics, blah, 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 blah. But think about that in lore. General Tullius and Legate Rickard, there's no fucking way they'd beat Ulfric Stormcloak in a fight, and Galmar Stonefist. If Ulfric was anyone else, sure, maybe that's like a 50-50, but like, Ulfric, it's so frustrating. And much like the Battle for Windhelm sucks video, I don't really have like a proper outro or anything. I don't know. You know what? Let's just pontificate. You know what? Just daydream with me for a sec. Could you imagine if he was like Euron Greyjoy? Could you imagine if they went like whole hog and made him horrifying? I don't know if it probably wouldn't make any sense. But could you imagine an Ulfric Stormcloak who gleefully sends thousands of men to their deaths? He's a horrifying monster that people have like prophetic dreams of, and he has like deicidal, that means like killing a god, ambitions. Oh my god, he could be so scary. Harkon, by the way, I might have a video in the works about Harkon. Harkon's really fucking disappointing. Harkon fucking sucks. There's like nothing scary about Harkon at all. But oh my god, he could be like so scary. He could be like Hermaeus Mora kind of scary. If only, right? Right, I'm terrible at concluding videos. The patrons, baby. Let me tell you about my bestest friends. I'll do it quickly too, because there's a lot of them these days. Giant thank you to the Thanes of the City, the highest tier on Patreon. That's Eldridge Rolls, Ellie Sophia XX, Sniper Lord 696, Remix 2000D, Narfrak and Rubber T60, as well as the one and only coffee funder we have, Kyle B. Very much the only reason that I have any coffee in the house. Thank you. As well as the handsome and charming members right here on YouTube at Tier 1, that's Ellie Sophia XX, Eldridge Rolls, Remix 2000D, and Sniper Lord 696. Again, you guys are far more generous than I could ever ask of you. Thank you very much. And of course, check out Sarah's Tumblr. They're like the official unofficial artist for the channel. All of the really good stuff you see is all theirs. That's tumblr.com/RafGoneMad. That's tumblr.com/RafGoneMad. Check them out. There's a link in the description as well as the other links, you know where they are. And oh yeah, the art. There's still some more art to show off. People do like fan art. It'll be flashing up now. People do fan art on the server. It's really fun. Join the Discord, by the way, as there's a link in the description. It's a good time. There's like 80 people in there, and I'm one of them, and I'm there like every day. It's a problem. Right. Shall we fade the screen out? Yeah, let's fade to black. Thank you all so much for watching. There will be some scripted stuff in the future, but I was on a cheeky little deadline today, and I wanted to just, I wanted to just complain. I wanted to complain about Ulfric. Anyway, goodbye.